Have you ever rushed into connection that felt so exciting, only to realize later it wasn't what you thought it was? On Love Island, connections move fast.
Lucky I got blessed that we were just literally like instant, like fireworks. So it's like, it's mutual. So I'm like, I'm geeked. Like, I feel like I won the lottery.
Honestly, it seems like it's too good to be true. My own personal cowboy, I love countrymen, so we are a perfect match. We were made for each other.
And they can feel like love, but are they? Sometimes what pulls us in isn't love at all. And as a therapist, I will show you how we confuse intensity for closeness and the quiet patterns that can sabotage your love life without you even realizing it. Hi, I'm Dr. Pam, therapist and relationship counselor, and I am passionate about helping people grow and create deeper, more meaningful connections. And while this show is highly edited, I am reacting to the interactions that we see on screen. What matters most to me is helping you reflect on what healthy connection actually looks like so you can create more deeper, meaningful relationships in your own life. There is a lot of noise online about what's toxic or wrong in relationships, and I am here to offer something different. Thoughtful, compassionate insights to help you understand yourself and others more deeply. And if that resonates with you, subscribing is the best way to stay connected. Okay, let's just dive right in.
Looking for in a guy, yeah.
I'm the really only Southern belle, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
I love a countryman, I love a cowboy, I love this, I love that. And boom, you walk in with a cowboy hat. I'm just like,
Look at the God.
so when you walked in, I'm like, oh my God,
God
this
heard you.
is literally.
God heard you, Beth.
He asked a great question. What are you looking for in a guy? And while she gave a surface level response, and I get it, this is the first time they're talking, but saying that she's looking for a cowboy, she missed an opportunity to go deeper. For example, is she looking for someone dependable, emotionally steady, hardworking, family oriented? The more she can articulate the deeper qualities she's drawn to, the better chance she has of connecting with someone who genuinely aligns with what she values in a person. But let me say this, we often focus on what we want in a person, but what really matters is what to look for relationally, meaning how a person engages in a relationship. That's what most people overlook, and yet it is the key to a lasting connection. So throughout my Therapist Reacts videos, I will guide you on what it really means to look for relational qualities so you can move forward in relationships feeling more secure, grounded, and clear.
Honestly, it seems like it's too good to be true. My own personal cowboy, I love countrymen, so we are a perfect match. We were made for each other, but we'll see. It's just day one. I am not trying to be delusional, but I am liking what I'm seeing so far.
When you're having a very first conversation with someone and you're already thinking perfect match, that's a red flag. Even if you tell yourself you're not being delusional, the fact that that thought is there so early on is worth pausing to reflect on. It's important to stay present and grounded in reality, not in fantasy. If you find that you have that thought in your head, delete it immediately. Connection is built over time. That's how you can trust that your relationship is built in reality.
Been trying the city boy thing. Me and city boys just don't seem to mesh well at all.
Yeah.
I like a man, a grown-ass man, the one that likes to handle business all the way around the clock. Not just financially, I like a provider and all that stuff, but the money can come, but the free shit, that resonates with me way more than a bill getting paid by men.
So she is saying, I like someone who consistently shows up and takes care of things, not just financially, but emotionally in everyday life. She appreciates a provider, but it's the little thoughtful things, the free stuff, that means the most to her. And that is a good start because she knows what is important to her. And this is a great reminder that what sustains a relationship isn't grand gestures, it's consistency. And that's what I mean by relational. Is your partner tuned into you, thinking about what matters to you? That kind of awareness is at the heart of a strong, lasting connection.
Open door for ladies.
Yeah.
They the first ones in the elevator.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to like walking down the sidewalk, what side
Yeah.
are you supposed to walk on?
Side close to the street.
That's all.
Come on now.
city men don't get it. They don't understand it.
He immediately understands what she's communicating, which is a good sign. She clearly has some firm deal breakers and seems confident in what she wants. That kind of clarity is helpful early on. But here's the thing, deal breakers are just the beginning. But I'll be curious to see where this goes, because while it's important to know your non-negotiables, you have to go deeper. And I say this all the time. Real compatibility shows up in how you handle conflict. That's relational. How self-aware you are, how willing you are to grow. And that, by the way, how a person shows up in conflict is the strong indication of emotional maturity. Those are the things that build a lasting relationship.
Okay, so question. If we were in like different shoes and it was like, guys, you choose 2 girls to kiss, who would you have chose?
Brave question. I love this. I don't know why she is asking, but what I would be looking for is honesty and authenticity. Let's see where he goes.
You and what was the girl in the green dress?
Oh, Bella.
And
That's so crazy.
yeah.
Were you shocked when I came to you, kiss you?
Honestly, like half and half. I noticed we were playing some eye tag.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this moment feels genuine to me, especially because he mentioned they were playing smiley tag, which adds a playful, authentic touch. That said, I'd encourage him to take it a step further and ask her why she asked that question. That opens the door to a more meaningful conversation. Curiosity is a green flag. It creates space for real connection.
Yeah.
Tell me about you. You have family, sisters, brothers?
6 siblings. Yeah, I'm a big family
That's
man.
good, though. I'm huge on family. Like,
Yeah.
family is so important to me. My brothers mean everything to me. I want a big family.
She does a great job diving right in by asking him about family, and she makes it clear that family is her top priority. It is a thoughtful, non-threatening question to ask during a first conversation, but also a meaningful one. It gives her a chance to learn something important about him, and it sets the stage for a deeper connection if they continue getting to know each other, because that should always be the goal, deeper connection.
Ace is definitely my type. I think he's a cool guy. He makes me laugh. And he has, like, true values. You know, he says things that, like, a man would say. And so I resonate with that a lot.
So, big tip here, don't rush to draw conclusions about someone early on. She says that he has true values, but you can't know that yet. Words are easy. Values are revealed in consistent actions over time, especially during challenging moments together. If you're dating, remember, time is your best truth teller. Stay curious, not convinced. My comment on this next clip may actually surprise you.
More of a personality-based person, so sitting there with Julissa, it got a chance for me to get to know her, you know, on the inside. She's very family-oriented, very outspoken, and even though I'm not feeling that, you know, right away spark, you know, hey, shit, I could leave out of here with Julissa. You never know. You really never know.
So Ace says he's not feeling an immediate spark, but I encourage people to stay open when they feel this way, just like he is, and give it a little bit more time. Here's why. That instant spark we often chase can sometimes be misleading. For example, if you grew up in a difficult or dysfunctional environment, you might be drawn to what feels familiar, even if it isn't healthy. So when something doesn't set off that intense reaction right away, it might actually be a good thing. A slower connection could be the beginning of a healthier relationship, one that feels unfamiliar simply because it's safe. Sometimes what doesn't feel intense at first is actually what's right. Okay, so let's move on to Nick and Belle and unpack transparency in a relationship.
How do you feel about sharing a bed?
Oh man, a little nervy.
Nervy? You ever slept with a guy like first
no.
day?
I'm definitely not the type to be in the clubs and to like go home with a man. But I like there to be like a solid connection. So this is definitely me putting myself out there.
I think Nick meant slept as in literally sleeping, but what Belle is expressing in that moment is much more important. She's being emotionally transparent. When she says, this is me putting myself out there, What she's really saying is, I'm feeling vulnerable, and that's not easy for me. She's communicating that connection matters deeply to her. In dating, moments like this are significant, not because of what's said on the surface, but because they show someone's willingness to be seen. And it's also important to take notice how a person responds to your willingness to be seen. If the other person responds with care and curiosity, that's a green flag.
I mean, I knew with the kiss on the cheek.
Oh, did your heart kind of drop when I...
Yeah, no, it was beating like 300.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm dead,
Yeah.
I'm dead. That didn't bother you though, that I didn't actually kiss you?
Nah, not at all.
I like that Belle checked in with Nick by asking if it bothered him that she only kissed him on the cheek. It shows emotional awareness and a willingness to communicate. But when Nick said it didn't bother him, I am not entirely sure he's being fully transparent. His body language and tone suggest there might be more going on beneath the surface. In dating, it's common for people to downplay their feelings to avoid conflict, or they want to seem easygoing. But honesty in moments like this are key to building real connection.
Praying I get a real kiss from Bella sooner rather than later. The game plan is to talk to the other girls, get to know them, but Bella is definitely like the front runner for me right now.
He says he's hoping and praying that Bella kisses him. Those are strong words, which makes me question even more whether he was being fully honest with her when he said the cheek kiss didn't bother him. And I understand it can feel a little uncomfortable or even confrontational to admit, yeah, that bothered me. But there's a way to be honest without creating pressure. He could have said something like, I respect where you're at, and I'm really looking forward to when you feel ready for that kiss. That kind of response is both emotionally honest and respectful, and that would be a green flag. Okay, this next couple is the couple that raises concerns for me, and I'll tell you why. So let's move on to Jeremiah and Huda, where there is a lot to unpack.
Why'd you pick me first?
You're definitely...
Oh, that's a great question. Sorry to interrupt. That's a great question. I don't really hear this. Okay, all right, bro. I'm back over here with it. You choose me first.
I picked you because you're definitely my type on paper. Like, to the T. Yeah, like for sure.
Why did you pick me? Honestly, it's not a bad question, but the meaning behind it depends on why he's asking. Is he looking for flattery, or is he genuinely curious about what stood out to her in a more meaningful way? I mean, flattery can feel great, and who doesn't enjoy a compliment? But lasting connection is built on more than surface level praise. If this is one of their first conversations, flattery might be all that's available right now to them. Still, it's a good sign when someone wants to understand what you see in them. It shows a desire for connection and self-awareness, which can grow into something deeper over time. But I still have concerns. Let's keep watching.
Walked in, I saw you. I said, oh yeah, that's the one.
You're lying.
I swear.
I know, you kept looking at me too.
Yeah, that's why I stood by you.
You're so cute.
Yeah. It was crazy, I'm not gonna lie. It was mad chemistry. Not to put too much pressure on her or weight in the beginning, but yeah, the more she talked, the more I was like, okay, I really like her. Like, she's mad cool.
This is already raising some red flags for me. He's saying she's the one way too soon. When someone makes that kind of declaration so early, it can signal more of a fantasy or projection than a grounded connection. Real compatibility takes time to reveal itself.
I'm like very like clean and hygienic. And my first red flag is bad hygiene.
That's what I'm, yes. Yes. I'm OCD too. Like, I like things really organized and clean.
It's a bit odd that they're already diving into how they like to keep their living space clean. Sure, it's something to learn about each other, and maybe for one of them it's even a deal breaker. So it's not necessarily bad to bring it up. But it still feels like they're moving really fast, talking about how they live in their space or how they enjoy being OCD before they've even really gotten to know each other. That's fast. Slow is where clarity lives.
Like how much we had in common and stuff, it just made me like him so much more. And we just get along so well. And so far, don't quote me on that. But it was just like little cute young love vibes, and I haven't had that in a while. I just pray he's not a boy.
Clearly, she is looking for a committed relationship, and it's understandable when she says that she hopes that he's not an F-boy. But What would be helpful for her is rather than hoping, have some real genuine questions in your back pocket for when they are ready to have a conversation where they dive deeper. That's when you ask meaningful questions like, what was your longest relationship? Why do you think it didn't work out? What did you learn about yourself when that relationship ended? These questions get to self-awareness and insight that a person has developed, and that's what you want to learn about someone. And that is the stuff that matters in a relationship.
I'll see you later.
Love you, bye. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. Fuck.
You good? I almost said it back.
So, was that an accidental slip or did it reveal something deeper? I believe it revealed something deeper. She said, love you, bye, after their very first conversation, which suggests a strong desire to move forward quickly. And when he tells her he almost said it back, that also points to his own readiness or eagerness to move fast. It's hard to say exactly why at this point they are so eager to move fast. It could stem from attachment challenges, a longing for emotional closeness, or a simple, strong desire to start a new chapter in life. We don't know yet, but my guess is that with time, the reasons behind it will become more clear.
You're so smitten. I'm literally stoked for you.
No, he's so sweet. I just don't want it to be like, I don't know, like, you know when some guys, when they move really fast, it's a red flag? Yeah. I'm just making sure I'm being cautious.
It's interesting that she calls it a red flag when men move too fast, yet doesn't seem to notice she's doing the very same thing. That kind of disconnect does happen. We tend to spot patterns in others more easily than we see in ourselves. But this is when self-awareness becomes a kind of superpower for you. It gives you the ability to pause, reflect, and ask, why am I moving so quickly? What am I hoping this connection will fix or fill? Without that pause, we risk making choices that feel good in the moment, but leave us hurt in the long run.
Jeremiah and Huda.
It's worth asking, why is she rushing as well? When someone moves quickly in a relationship, it's rarely just about the other person. It's often about what connection represents. For many people, especially those with anxious or unresolved attachment wounds, speed can feel like certainty. It quiets the fear of being alone, the ache of the past rejections you've experienced, or the longing to finally feel chosen. Fast attachment can feel like fate, but it is often a strategy, one we don't even know we're using to avoid sitting in the discomfort of uncertainty or anxiety. Slowing down can feel risky if love has always felt like something you have to grab quickly before it disappears.
How you feel about us since yesterday?
I'm good. I want to just make sure that you're being honest about how you are as a person.
Huda says she wants to make sure he is who he says he is by watching his actions, which is important. But what you are really looking for is that words and actions align consistently over time. Her concern about him possibly being an F-boy or not being genuine makes me wonder what she's been through in the past to feel the need to be on guard like that. If I were Jeremiah, I might ask her, what makes you worry about that? That kind of question opens the door to a deeper conversation. It gives her the space to share past experiences and gives him the chance to understand what has shaped her. It's also a way to learn about her level of self-awareness and what kind of personal growth she has done in response to past pain, both of which are powerful insights when getting to know someone.
I can't wait for us to get to know each other more, and I can have deeper conversations with you.
Thanks.
I have so much depth to my story.
I can tell.
A lot.
I can definitely tell.
So there it is. She acknowledges that she wants to go deeper and that she has quite a story. That's important. But you can also see that they're moving quickly, and slowing things down doesn't just mean hitting pause. It means making space for real conversations, getting to know each other beyond the surface, and resisting the urge to assume that you're meant for each other just because you share a few things in common. As humans, we naturally crave connection, and once we feel it, we tend to protect it. That's why discovering differences or things you don't like about each other can feel threatening. but those differences will show up. That's a normal part of any relationship. Love is not built on similarities, it's built on how you handle the differences.
Listen, if anything, I'm more mature than you.
That's
Chill.
crazy.
Relax.
I'm gonna always be a kid. One thing about me, I'm gonna
Do you
get a
live by
laugh.
yourself or with roommates?
I'm gonna have one roommate in August.
I got my own
Cause you
crib.
live alone. Yeah.
When someone says that they're more emotionally mature than the person they're with, it gives me pause. It makes me wonder, why does she believe that? And if she truly does believe that, why would you want to be in a relationship with someone who you see as less emotionally mature? Also, why does she feel the need to announce that she's more emotionally mature? What I think she might be really saying is that she carries a lot of adult responsibilities in her life, which can look like maturity, but having responsibilities does not automatically mean that someone is emotionally mature. Emotional maturity is about how you handle conflict, communicate, take accountability, and how self-aware and insightful you are, and how you respond to vulnerability. I'm not sure yet if she has that. It's just something I wanted to clarify as we continue watching this unfold.
One crib is like
I know,
4
LA's
racks.
expensive. Mine is over 3.
Damn. Damn.
Too bad, too bad.
You got 2 bedrooms? What's your other bathroom or bedroom for? Office?
I'll tell you later.
That's not an emotionally mature way to handle things. She's toying with him by bringing up her 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in a way that hints at something more, but without actually sharing what that is. She knows she's holding back the fact that she's a mom, and the way she dangles that information without being honest is concerning. Emotional maturity involves taking responsibility for how your words impact others and using ambiguity to provoke a reaction or test someone's response is a form of emotional manipulation. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong time to disclose something personal. That is her choice when she's ready. But emotional maturity means being respectful and intentional, not using important information as a tease or a test. If you're not ready to share something, that's okay. Just don't allude to it in a way that creates confusion or plays with someone's emotions. Honesty invites trust. Games create doubt. By the way, are you curious about how to date with more clarity and confidence? I did some Therapist Reacts video to Love is Blind, and you do not need to have watched this show to get real value from these videos. They are packed with insight that can change the way that you approach dating. Check it out. Okay, that is a wrap on episode 1. Episode 2 brings new connections and some hard shifts. I'll be here to help you make sense of all of it. And so many of you have shared how these videos help you feel seen and give you practical steps to navigate your relationship, and that is exactly why I create them. If they've brought you clarity or direction, subscribing is the best way to stay connected and keep getting insights that support you. And if you found today's video helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. See you next time.